environment, and we learned about pollution. We defined what pollution was. We also defined what a pollutant was. Apart from that, we learned about land pollution and water pollution. Okay, so in today's lesson, we're going to look at air pollution. Under air pollution, we are going to learn on the causes of air pollution, the effects of air pollution, and the preventions of air pollution. Okay, are we together, class? So we'll look at the causes, we'll look at the effects of air pollution. We'll also look at the preventions of air pollution. We'll also look at the causes of air pollution. Okay, so in today's lesson, we're going to look at air pollution. And under air pollution, we'll look at the causes of air pollution, the effects of air pollution, and the preventions of air pollution. So we start with the causes of air pollution. What are the causes of air pollution, class? What are the causes of air pollution, or what causes air pollution? So we've got different factors that causes air pollution. Okay, so the first factor that I'll give you is smoke. Smoke is one of the factors that causes what? Air pollution. So we have one. Smoke is one of the factors that causes what? Air pollution. I'll give an example. If you have a bush where you stay, if it's not a bush, or maybe you've harvested some crops, then you want to burn the plant remains. After immediately you start burning, what happens? Smoke starts coming out from the things that you have burnt. Okay, so smoke is one of the causes of air pollution. The moment you burn things, and smoke will start coming out. And what have you done? You have caused air pollution. Okay, so burning of things causes air pollution. Okay, so the first one I've given you there, it is smoke. Smoke is one of the factors that causes what? Air pollution. Apart from smoke, class, which other factor can cause air pollution? Okay, so apart from smoke, we also have dust. Okay, we also have what? Dust. Okay, so the second factor there is dust. Okay, so dust is one of the factors that causes what? Air pollution. I'll give an example. If it's too windy, okay, so if it is too windy and the soil is moving from one place to the other, you have what? Dust. And dust is one of the factors that causes what? Air pollution. So dust, when it is windy, causes air pollution. Okay, so the first cause of air pollution that has been written on the board is smoke. Apart from smoke, we have dust. Then the third one, we have sulfur dioxide. Okay, so another factor that causes air pollution is sulfur dioxide. And sulfur dioxide comes from the burning of fuels. Are we together, class? Sulfur dioxide comes in when you do what? You burn fuels. Okay, so sulfur dioxide is one of the causes of air pollution, and this comes about when you burn fuels. Okay, then the fourth one we have is carbon monoxide. The fourth one that we have is carbon monoxide. Okay, carbon monoxide. Okay, so carbon monoxide that comes from cars causes what? Carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide is one of the factors that causes air pollution. So carbon monoxide, this is the smoke that comes from cars. Okay, so the smoke that comes out from cars. Okay, and then the last one that we have there, fumes. Okay, so fumes are produced from industries. Last one we have there is fumes. These are produced from industries. Okay, so I have given you 5 factors that cause what? Air pollution. And the first factor is smoke. Smoke is one of the factors that causes what? Air pollution. When you burn something in the environment, when that smoke starts coming out, what are you doing? You're polluting the environment or the air. Okay. Then the second one, we have dust. When it is too windy, the soil is moving from one place to the other, you're going to form what? Dust. And that dust, what has it done? It has polluted the environment or the air. Okay. Then the third one, we have got sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide comes from burning of fuels. Okay, so when you burn fuels, you're going to produce sulfur dioxide, and sulfur dioxide is going to pollute the air that we breathe in. Okay, then the fourth one, we have got carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide, this comes from cars. Okay, so the smoke that comes from cars is what we call carbon monoxide, and when this smoke has been produced by cars, it is going to pollute the air that we breathe in. Okay, then the last one, we have fumes. These fumes are produced from industries. So these are the 5 factors that causes what? Air pollution. Okay, so if these are the factors that cause air pollution, let us look at the effects. What happens when these causes have been produced? What happens to the environment, or what happens to the air that we breathe in? So what are the effects of air pollution? Let us look at the effects of air pollution, class. So now, hope you're writing down the points. Okay, so let us look at the effects of air pollution. What are the effects? Effects of air pollution. Okay, we have looked at the causes of air pollution. Let us look at the effects of air pollution. What are the effects of air pollution? Okay, 1, it causes acid rain. Okay, so the effects of air pollution is that they cause what? Acid rain. Okay, so the first effect is that causes acid rain. Okay, so how is this acid rain caused? How is this acid rain caused? Okay, so when sulfur dioxide, it has been released, when sulfur dioxide has been released into the atmosphere, it reacts with water. The moment it reacts with water, it causes what? Acid rain. And we've said sulfur dioxide comes from burning of fuel. So the moment you burn fuel, sulfur dioxide is what? Released. And when sulfur dioxide is released, it goes into the atmosphere. Okay, so after it goes into the atmosphere, it reacts with water. The moment it reacts with water, what has happened? Acid rain has been formed. Okay, so when sulfur dioxide is released into the atmosphere, it reacts with water. Then acid rain is formed. Then acid rain is formed. So when this acid rain is formed, it is not good for the plants that we grow. Okay, So when this acid rain is formed, it is not good for the plants that we do what? We grow. Okay. Then let's go to the second effect of air pollution. Okay. So the second effect is that it gives us difficulties in breathing. Okay. The second effect of air pollution, it is difficulties in breathing. Are we together, class? Okay. So difficulties in breathing. What do we mean when we say difficulties in breathing? Okay, so when carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide have been released in the air, we'll have difficulties in what? In breathing. Are we together, class? And when you have difficulties in breathing, you are failing to breathe, yet you're supposed to breathe normally. Are we together, class? Okay, so the second point is difficulties in breathing. What we mean by saying difficulties in breathing is failing to breathe. You cannot breathe properly because of the carbon monoxide, the carbon dioxide, and the sulfur dioxide. Okay, so when you look at sulfur dioxide, we said this one comes when you burn fuels, and when we talk about carbon monoxide, and this one comes from the smoke of the car. Okay, so when these two are released in the atmosphere, we'll start failing to breathe. We will not breathe the way we breathe. Are we together, class? Okay, apart from difficulties in breathing, we've got the third one, which it causes death. Okay, the effects of air pollution do what? Cause death. Okay, third one is death. Okay, I'll go back to the causes of air pollution. The two causes, which is sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. Okay, so what we mean by causing death is when you inhale or when you breathe in a lot of carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide, you're causing death because your lungs will be affected. Are we together, class? So when you inhale or when you breathe in a lot of carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide, you're causing lung problems, okay? And your lungs will be affected, and by the end of it all, you are causing death, okay? So death, when you breathe in too much, when you breathe in too much of sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide, it causes lung cancer. It causes lung cancer. Okay, so I've given you the first one, it causes acid rain. The second one, difficulties in breathing. The third one, death. Can I give you the last one, the effects of air pollution? Let's go to the last one, the effects of air pollution, okay? So the last one is stunted growth in plants. Growth in plants. So the last one is stunted growth in plants. What do I mean by stunted growth? Okay, so what I mean by stunted growth is that plants will stop growing. They'll be on the same size. Are we together, class? So the last effect that I've given you on the board there is stunted growth. And what I mean by stunted growth is that plants will stop growing. They'll just be on the same size. Except those plants that are grown near industries, okay? So all those smokes that come from the industries will start affecting the plants that you've grown, okay? And when the plants are affected, they become stunted. They stop growing, they'll just be on the same size. Are we together, class? So I have given you 4 effects of air pollution. The first one was it causes acid rain. The second one is difficulties in breathing. The third one, it causes death. And the last one, it causes stunted growth in plants. Plants stop growing. Are we together, class? Plants stops growing. Okay, so now we know the causes of air pollution. and we know the effects of air pollution. Can we go to the preventions of air pollution? After knowing what harm air pollution causes, we need to know how we need to prevent this air pollution. So let us go to the preventions of air pollution. Hope you're taking note of these points on the board. Let us go to the preventions of air pollution. Okay, so the prevention of air pollution. So what are the preventions of air pollution? After knowing how it is caused and after knowing the effects of air pollution, how do we prevent it? Okay, so the ways you can prevent this air pollution, one is by reducing the burning of things. By what? Reducing the burning of things. Burning of things. So the moment you reduce things that you burn, what have you done? You have reduced on air pollution. Apart from that, we need to introduce educational talks. We need to do what? Introduce educational talks. So, two, educational talks. Okay? So, educational talks. You now need to talk to people who do not know how air pollution is caused. You tell them they're not supposed to cut down trees anyhow, burning of bushes anyhow. Why? Because you're causing what? Air pollution. Okay, so the first one is reducing the burning of things. You reduce the amount of things that you burn into the environment. Apart from that, you introduce educational talks. You talk to people that when you burn things, you're causing what? Sulfur dioxide. You're causing smoke that will give us lung cancer. And at the end of it all, you die. Are we together, class? Then the other one, can anyone try to give us the other one? At least I've given you two, reducing on the amount of things that you burn in the environment and educational talks, okay? So you also use lead-free petrol. Are we together? You use lead-free petrol. Okay, that's the third one. Then the fourth one, can anyone try to give us the fourth one? What is the fourth prevention that you can take on air pollution? What can you do if you've encouraged people, you've talked to people to say when you burn too much things, you're causing sulfur dioxide or carbon monoxide? So any other prevention that you can take to prevent what? Air pollution. Can anyone try to give us the last one? We end the topic, okay? So people should encourage people to be using electricity instead of charcoal or firewood, because the moment you use charcoal or firewood, you are polluting the environment. Are we together, class? Okay, so the last one is that encourage or tell people to use electricity. Tell people to use electricity or solar systems. Solar systems instead of using firewood. Firewood. Okay, so these are the preventions you can take when you want to reduce air pollution or you do not want to cause air pollution. The first one is reducing the burning of things. The second one is educational talks. The third one, you also use lead-free of petrol. Apart from that, you tell people to use electricity instead of using charcoal or firewood. Are we together, class? At least I believe you have no problems on the causes of air pollution on the effects of air pollution and on the preventions of air pollution. If there are any questions, you can text us on that number on the screen, okay? So at least we're done with the environment. At least we're able to know what causes water pollution, what causes land pollution, and what causes air pollution. We're able also to explain to people on the effects of water pollution, the effects of land pollution, and the effects of air pollution, and how you prevent the 3 types of pollution, which is air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. Okay, so this is where we end our lesson. If there are any questions, you can text us on the number that is on the screen. Okay, so this is where we end our lesson. See you next week. Thank you.
Imagine. Good afternoon, learners. Welcome to our e-learning program. Today I'll be teaching grade 8, home economics and hospitality. Okay, so our topic today will look at beverages. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to look at beverages. So we are supposed to know what a beverage is. We need to define what a beverage is. So what is a beverage? What is a beverage? So we say a beverage is any liquid suitable for drinking. Okay, a beverage is any liquid. That's right. A beverage in liquid suitable for drinking. Okay, so that's the definition of what a beverage is. So say the beverage is any liquid suitable for drinking. Okay, now we've got classes of beverages, and we are supposed to know them and make sure that we know the examples for each class. So what are these classes of beverage? Basically, we've got only 3 types of beverages. Okay, so the first one that we are going to look at, it is refreshing beverage. That's our first class. Okay, so we'll write classes of beverage. Okay, so the first one, we are going to look at refreshing beverage. refreshing beverage. Okay. Refreshing beverage. So you're supposed to know what a refreshing beverage is. So basically we've got three types, and I've said the first one that we're going to look at, it's called refreshing beverage. So what is this beverage and what does it do to our bodies? Okay, so these are the beverages which are there to quench our thirst. Okay, so if you are thirsty, there is a particular type of beverages that you are supposed to drink, and they are going to help you to quench the thirst. Okay, so now we're supposed to know which ones are these. Okay, so the first one, the first examples of refreshing beverage, look at water. Okay, water. So water, it's a very good example of refreshing beverage. Whenever we are thirsty, like nowadays it's very hot and we are in hot season, we are supposed to drink a lot of water. At least in a day, you drink 2 to 3 liters of fluid each day. Okay, so water is needed, and it's a very good example of refreshing beverage. All right, so sometimes we do lose a lot of water in our bodies. We lose water through the sweat that we normally have, okay? And sometimes we lose our water if one happens to suffer from diarrhea and vomit, okay? So we normally lose water through such a situation. So you're supposed to replace that water by drinking refreshing beverage, which is water and other fruit juices. Okay, so another type or class, okay, here we write, this is a beverage which helps us to quench okay. So we'll look at the second class of beverage. The second class of beverage. So what is this second class of beverage? The one we've said it's refreshing beverage, okay, and we've said it's there to quench our thirsty, okay, and we've given an example of refreshing beverage. Now the second class, it is called stimulating beverage. Stimulating beverage. So write that down. Stimulating beverage. So we're supposed to know what those stimulating beverages are, okay, so that we are able to differentiate from the other two beverages and the other one which is about to be explained. Okay, so they contain stimulants which cause increase in heartbeat and blood pressure. Okay, so they contain very little food values. So these beverages, they do not have a lot of food values. Whenever you drink them, you find that you are not going to have those values which the body needs. So, for example, the example for stimulating beverage, the one that I can give you, it's alcohol drinks, okay, tea, say an example of stimulating beverage, even coffee, okay. So when you look at these three examples, they are just there to stimulate you in such a way whereby even your behavior can be affected. For example, look at someone who is from drinking alcohol. You'll find that because of the stimulants in that beverage, their behavior, it is also affected. They can be very aggressive, they can be very sarcastic because of some of the stimulants which are found in the stimulating beverage which they've taken. Okay, so the examples of stimulating beverage, we've got alcohol, we've got tea, okay, and coffee. Those are the common examples that we can have. So tea and alcohol. Okay, all right, so those are the examples of stimulating beverages. So they contain very little food values, okay, except for the small amount of carbohydrates, because some of these, like coffee, when you just drink coffee, you have a small percentage of carbohydrates. But when you look at the other food values like vitamins, the minerals, the proteins, you can't find them in there. Okay, so alcohol, tea, and coffee, those are the examples of stimulating beverage. Okay, let's hope you are following. Then the third one, it's nourishing. Okay. Okay, nourishing beverage. So nourishing, from the word itself, it means that these are beverages which we are going to list there. That are the types of beverage, or a type of beverage which nourishes the body, meaning that the nourishing beverage has got a lot of food values in them. So whenever you drink such nourishing beverages, meaning that your body will attain more nutrients which are needed for the body to look healthy, unlike stimulating beverages. Okay, so what are these nourishing beverages? They are used as food, okay, for young or for the babies. So they are used as food for the young. Okay, and sometimes the nourishing beverages can be used because we've said they're used as food for the young babies, okay, even people that are invalids, convalescent, those people that are just recovering from different illnesses, and the invalids, those people that are being confined because they're weak due to some illnesses, they're just confined in one place in their homes. They are supposed to have such beverages, okay? Because the same beverages will help them to develop some of the body where the weaknesses are. So for example, if someone is very weak, or maybe they can't even stand, they can't even walk, they're supposed to be having nourishing beverages, because the nourishing beverages, they will help them to maintain their bodies. Okay, then the examples now, the examples of nourishing beverages. What are these examples? Okay, again, when you look at the nourishing beverages, they help us even in people who are very odd. Okay, you can provide with them, because some of the old people, those that do not have teeth, their teeth maybe are out, they can be helped when they are provided with such beverages. Okay, now examples of nourishing beverages we have, okay, that's right. Examples, okay, we have milk. Put together. Then we've got yogurt. All right. Then again, we have soups. Okay. Soups. Then daily products. Okay. Like milk. Okay. These don't point at that one. Okay. Then again, we have soy drinks. and egg flips. Okay, soy drinks. Egg flips. Okay, so those are the examples. There are a lot, but those are the main examples of nourishing beverages. Now, when you look at this, maybe someone can ask me, what type of soup are we supposed to give these people? Okay, what are these nourishing soups? Okay, so you're supposed to know what a soup is. Okay, soup, they're normally sold in sachets. Okay, when you go in these shopping malls, you'll find different types of soup. You can choose if you want for mushroom, according to the dislikes and likes of the children, or maybe the elderly people or the invalids. Okay, so they've got different flavors. You can go for mushroom, you can go for chicken, you can go for beef. Then you prepare it so that you give them to nourish their bodies. Okay. Then again, yogurt, it's very, very nutritious for our young babies, even the convalescent people, the elderly. They can have yogurt as well as milk, although all these are under dairy products. Soy drinks are also very nutritious because they provide the body with energy, they provide the body with some carbohydrates and fats. Okay, even egg flips, in egg, there are a lot of nutrients also that are very nutritious to the people that are sick. Okay, so those are under the nourishing beverages. So all these things, when someone is taking them, meaning that their bodies are not going to be in the same position, but there will be some changes because the body has been nourished. Okay. So those are the three types of beverages. Okay, we've got refreshing, stimulating, and nourishing. Okay, so refreshing again, we have the example of water and some drinks like Coca-Cola, Fanta. Those drinks, when you drink them, you feel refreshed. Okay, those are the examples, but the major one is water. Okay, let's hope you are following. All right. Now, when you are classifying the beverages, when you are classifying the way we've done here, we are supposed to look at the difference, okay, the difference in the features. When you look at refreshing, stimulating, and nourishing, those are the different beverages. So when we are classifying them, we classify them according to different features. For example, we look at the content. So we've got three major features that we look at the beverages when we are classifying them. We've got the feature which is called the content, okay? We've got the feature which is called the temperature, as well as the function, okay? So we've said we've got basically three types of beverages and the features now. Okay, so these features are the ones that we look at the beverage and we are able to classify them according to different features that they have. So when we look at content, the content, we look at what is the percentage of the content of alcohol or non-alcoholic beverages do we have in a particular beverage. So the first feature that we look at, it's the content, okay? Then again, we'll look at the temperature, okay? This is another feature. Temperature, then we say, okay, is the beverage very hot or cold? How are we going to classify it? Okay, by looking at the temperature. Then again, the third feature, it is the function. Okay, we have to look at the different functions of each beverage there. So, right, the function. Okay, the function. So what is the function for nourishing beverages? What is the function for refreshing beverage? And what is the function for stimulating beverage? Okay, so from the words themselves, when you look at refreshing, it even tells you that, okay, this beverage, when I drink it, I'm going to feel refreshed from the word itself. Then again, when you look at stimulating, you know that, okay, from this word, I think this beverage, they've got different stimulants, and when I drink it, it will stimulate me, and maybe my actions will be affected in a positive way or good way or negative way. Okay, then the third one, it's nourishing. So from the word itself, nourishing, meaning that this beverage, the function, it's there to do what? To nourish our bodies. Okay, so basically this was our topic for today, the grade 8. Okay, let's hope you've understood the definition of a beverage, and you now know what are the classes of beverages as well as the examples. Then again, you should know the features, okay, the features of the beverages. Okay, you have to know how to differentiate each beverage that we've listed. Okay, so next time that we are going to meet, we are going to look at the practical way on how to prepare different beverages, and we are going to start maybe with refreshing, stimulating, or nourishing. Okay, we'll bring all these beverages together and identify which one can nourish our body, which one can stimulate our body, and which one can refresh our bodies. Okay, so for today we are going to end here. If you've got questions, you can ask through our line on the screen. So see you next time, and God bless you.
Grade 8s, this is Madam Chilukutu taking you in English language, and today's lesson we are going to look at intensifiers, but before that we're going to work together the homework that I gave you last week on question tags. So the first question was, Jane is getting something for us. Jane is getting something for us. Isn't she? That was the question tag that you were supposed to provide. The correct answer was, isn't she? Then the next question was, they don't need to go to the shop. They don't need to go to the shop. Do they? That is the question tag for that sentence. They don't need to go to the shop. Do they? That is the question tag for that statement. The second statement was, John can bring some food. John can bring some food. Can't he? Can't he? That is the question tag for that statement. Then the next statement was, that exam wasn't difficult. That exam wasn't difficult, was it? That was a question tag for that statement. Then the last one was, it won't be expensive. It won't be expensive. Will it? That was the question tag for that statement. Okay, so if you wrote the correct question tags for the 5 statements, then you are good to go. For those who got some wrong, please correct your work. Thank you very much. We get back to our today's lesson. Today's lesson is on intensifiers. That is structure. Okay. So, what are intensifiers? Can we define what intensifiers are? These are adverbs or adverbial phrases that strengthen the meaning of other expressions and show emphasis. These are adverbs or adverbial phrases that strengthen the meaning of other expression and show emphasis. Okay, so these are adverbial phrases that okay, so intensifiers are adverbs or adverbial phrases that strengthens the meaning of other expressions and shows emphasis. So, having said that, let's look at some of the words that are used. So, these are that are commonly used in English language. Words that are commonly used in English language. So the first word that is used is, I can say maybe absolutely. Absolutely is one of the words that is used. Maybe let me write it on the opposite board. Absolutely, completely. Yes, so completely. Completely. There's also extremely. Extremely, highly, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that there are so many. So I just want to mention these 4, but there's also highly, there's rather, there's so, really, two with a double O, so 2. Like this. Okay, so 2, totally, very, and at all. So these are some of the common words or common intensifiers that are used. Okay, so let's look at them in a sentence. Let's use them in a sentence and see how they work, because they have to make sure that they are suiting the sentence that you've made. Okay, so let's look at some of the sentences that you can use using these same words and see how it will sound or how it will work. The first sentence, she was so upset. She was so upset, I felt extremely sorry for her. Okay, so here, she was so upset. I felt extremely sorry for her. So here it's emphasizing the emotion that she was showing. So here in this first sentence, the intensifier there is so. So expressing how much emotion she showed. Then I felt extremely sorry for her. So she's actually emphasizing on the word here, which is sorry. How sorry she was. She was actually extremely sorry for her. Okay. So the next sentence, she has a very strict teacher. She has a very strict teacher. She has very strict teacher. She has a very strict teacher. She has a very strict teacher, and the intensifier there is very. Okay, emphasizing on the strictness. Was it little or more? So there, she has a very strict teacher, emphasizing on the word strict and how it was. Was it not too much, or was it too much? And in this case, she had a very strict teacher, meaning the teacher was too much. She was too harsh on making a point, or maybe scolding at her for whatever reason. Okay. The next one was, don't work too hard. Sometimes you get more done by relaxing. Okay. So 3. Third sentence, don't work. Okay, and they've seen that she's overworking. A third, according to encourage us, say, meaning that person should at least at one point also relax than just working, being an workaholic, but also try and rest a little bit so that she can do better by relaxing. Okay, the fourth sentence is, I don't think she understood the topic. I don't think she understood the topic. And our essay was rather a mess. A mess. Okay. I don't think she understood the topic. I don't think she understood the topic. and her essay was rather a mess. Her essay was rather a mess. I don't think she understood the topic, and her essay was rather a mess. Okay, so in this case, the intensifier there is rather, emphasizing on the damage that caused her by not understanding the topic. She just wrote parallel to what she was expected to write. So the intensifier there is rather. Okay. The fifth one is she really offended her sister. She really. Okay. She really offended her sister. So in this case, the intensifier there is really, emphasizing on the point, strengthening the degree of how much the words that she spoke affected her sister. So this intensifier is actually telling us how much she offended her sister and to what extent. Okay, so note that the intensifier go with particular adjectives depending on the meaning of the adjective. So note that the intensifier goes with particular adjectives. Okay, so in this case, there are adjectives there that go with the intensifier. Okay, then we'll look at an example here which will maybe help us. Let me just rub the top part. I'm afraid your wife is dangerously. Dangerously ill. Here the intensifier is this. So meaning her life is her life is actually death threatening. She might die anytime, and this person is actually afraid of the illness of his wife. Okay, so the adjective there is the adjective that is relating to dangerously is actually ill. Okay, so and yes, okay, so that is how I can explain that part. Then there are some words, there are other intensifiers also that you can see here on the sentences that I gave you earlier. Very good. So here in this case it's very strict. Trying to intensify more on the adverb, which is strict time. Then in this case, so in this case, that answers how the definition says, which reads intensifiers are adverbs and adverbial phrase that strengthen. So here, like in this case, the adverb here is stricter, and it is strengthening the fact that the teacher is actually strict and very strict. Okay, so let's look at some other words and what they mean in actual fact. So let me just I'll just pick on just a few. Very, very good. Very, yes, very big and very clever or very bad. Very bad. Okay. So this very, very good simply means excellent. You can use them, not using very good, but you can use the word excellent. That is also an intensifier for very good. The other word you can use is perfect. Perfect is also an intensifier for very good. The other one is ideal. Ideal is also an intensifier for very good. So you can use those words that I'm giving you in your vocabulary even as you use your English language. The other one for very good is also wonderful, and the last one is splendid. Let me just write them down so that maybe you can jot them out. So excellent, 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 perfect, perfect, ideal, wonderful, and splendid. Splendid. Okay, so these are the intensifiers. Apart from you using very good, you can use excellent. That was excellent. That was perfect. So it emphasizes or strengthens the meaning of whatever thing that was perfect that you're talking about. Okay, it was ideal, depending on what you're talking about. Maybe it was a speech and they're trying to applaud someone, and then you say, wow, that was ideal. Then wonderful and also splendid. Okay, so those are some of the intensifiers that you can use. Then on very bad, you can use words like enormous or huge. Okay, so so here we go for very bad, very big. That is, you're talking about something huge, something big. So you can use words like that was enormous. Like I'm eating an enormous burger. For instance, I'm looking at a very huge box, something like that. Okay, something that you can, or I'm looking for a very huge box that I can pack all the big stuff that I have to pack. Okay, then on the very bad, some of the words that you can use, or some of the intensifiers that you can use are awful, awfully, awful, awful, terrible, terrible is also disgusting, disgusting, and dreadful, grateful, yeah, and so on and so forth. So for very big, you can use words like intensifiers such as awful, terrible, disgusting, and also dreadful. So these are, I just wanted to this is just some of the things that maybe I wanted to make mention for you. When you find such words like very good, you can, instead of very good, you can use excellent, perfect, ideal, wonderful, and also splendid. And then for very big, you can use intensifiers like enormous, huge, and things like that. Then for very bad, you can use awful, terrible, disgusting, dreadful, in place of very bad. And these intensifiers can help you in your vocabulary. Okay, so this is what I had for you today. Maybe I can just leave some sentences for you for homework so that you can try. Then we can come and we'll work together on Wednesday when I meet you for the next lesson. Okay, so homework for today. Homework for today. Here you just have to identify the intensifier. You just write it down. Okay, so the next one. Okay, so for today you have four sentences. She was driving a very nice red car. Don't ride the bike too fast. Yeah. Too fast, you will fall down. Mary made her mother really made her mother happy. Tom is a very bad boy. He needs to be extremely punished. Okay, so those are the 4 sentences for you for homework. grade 8s. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your attentiveness. We'll see you next week on Wednesday for more structure work. Okay, so there are no questions. I'll end here. Thank you very much and God bless.